Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here, and welcome to the final part of my look at Secrets of the Lost Tomb. And this is the second game in the Dungeon Dive Masterclass series, a series in which I focus on games that I think are just brilliant. And Secrets of the Lost Tomb just so happens to be my favorite game of all time. You know, if you guys watched my top 10 dungeon crawls, you saw that. This is a game that does so much right that I am able to overlook some of its faults, and its faults mostly lie in its presentation. It's kind of ugly. I mean, the art on most of it just isn't so good. The graphic design is kind of amateurish. None of the art screams like high quality art, so I'm able to overlook all of that just because of a number of reasons, and we're going to talk about those. So simply put, number one, this game is just fun. It's the most pure fun dungeon crawl that I've played. At one point, I think the first episode of this series, I said that the game was unique. And I want to clarify that a little bit. I don't mean unique in terms of mechanisms, because there are elements of like Arkham Horror, there are elements of Betrayal at House on the Hill, and other games in this game. It's not doing anything mechanically really unique, but I think what it offers is a unique kind of power fantasy for the players. It allows the players to just be completely enveloped in this world of adventure. It makes the players, or at least me as a player, feel like a great and powerful adventurer in this world, while also maintaining that very crucial and important element of tension and danger. So that is the first reason why this is my favorite game of all time. And of course that brings us to number two, and that is that sense of exploration. And how this game, I've said this over and over again, but this game creates that illusion that anything can happen. But it doesn't feel like just things are happening completely randomly. While the elements of the adventure and misadventure cards and the monsters that you've come across and the items and the artifacts, while those are all pulled randomly from decks or rolled on tables and that kind of thing, they are so closely knitted into the elements of the theme and the overall just atmosphere of the game that they don't stand out as just being like arbitrarily thrown in just because someone thought they would be cool. Yes, in this game you might fight ninjas and lizard people while being visited by the Terminator. That actually does happen. But it's so tightly woven into the theme of the game that every disparate element just only strengthens what the designer's vision was. There are still things that I have not encountered. There are still combinations of encounters that I haven't faced, and there are still elements to explore. This game creates that illusion of exploration better than just about any other game that I know of. Number three, it feels like a bottomless box of adventure. And that's mainly because of how everything is always available to the player. From the very first turn of this game, nothing is locked away behind some long campaign progress. I don't have to wait for hours, like 10 hours. I don't have to wait through a campaign to find that kick-ass sword. There's a very good chance that I could find that super weapon on the very first turn of the game. And I have done that before, and it feels really good when that happens. It takes the concept of zero to hero and really kind of cranks it up a notch. You really do feel like you are these characters in this crazy world that is just brimming with adventure around every single turn. Number 4 is that I feel like the designers really had a blast, really had a fun time making this game. You can tell, or I can tell, that the design team just poured their hearts and souls into this. Now, I'm not saying that again that maybe I didn't like that didn't happen. I think most designers are going to pour their heart and soul into their game. But it's the way that they accomplished that just makes me feel like they have a lot of respect for this genre, that they had a lot of fun making it, and they were kind of like kids in a candy store while they were making this game, just wanting to do everything that they ever wanted to do and put everything that they ever wanted to put into a pulp adventure game. It almost has a feel, and it does kind of have a look too, of a smaller, like indie style game, but one that they went all out and made it's like a big budget indie game. If that makes sense. I think if you guys have played it, you kind of might understand what I am saying there. And 5th, it really is like the perfect game for me, and it just represents everything that I love, all of the great things that I talk about on the Dungeon Dive. It offers up the similar kind of adventure to so many of the books I read and from so many of the authors that I love, authors like Abraham Merritt, H. Rider Haggard, Lynn Carter, Robert E. Howard, and others. It takes all of the good elements of pulp fiction, eschews a lot of the bad elements, the problematic elements, and presents itself as this just wonderful representation of an adventure story in a board game form. It makes me feel like I am living out the heroic adventures of these characters. And these are really the reasons why I like Secrets of the Lost Tomb so much. There isn't another game that gives me this much sense of adventure that I know of. You know, games like Warhammer Quest, Shadows of Brimstone, Hellboy, Mice and Mystics, Escape from Dulce, games like that, they all do that wonderfully. Dungeon Degenerates. But none of those games give me that combination of a great sense of adventure with this much fun. And that goes a long way into just making me absolutely love this game, and it being like the gold standard, the game that I compare almost all of these games that I love to. And I'm really hoping when the reprint comes up sometime soon, or the second edition, or whatever they're going to be doing, that I really hope that they don't change the core mechanisms. I hope they keep it messy. I hope they keep it scenario based and zero to hero. I do wish that and hope that they may update the art and update the graphic design. Everything Epic Games is getting better at their graphic design. I think Secrets of the Lost Station is a much better looking game. It looks more like a modern board game. It's more of a modern design aesthetically. So I do hope that they can do that with this game. Maybe if they get a little more money because they're more well known now, maybe they can get some better artists. You know, maybe they can get some great like modern pulp artists who are making covers for books and stuff these days. So that is Secrets of the Lost 2, my 4-part Masterclass series. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this game. And if when it comes back into print, I hope more people can enjoy it. So, all right, guys, we'll take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.